We were super excited because right before we came here because you guys were leadership, education based, and that's what we had been looking for. We loved it. We love your culture, and we're like, that's who we want to learn from is people who are doing what we want to do. Because that there's all kinds of coaches, mentors out there, but we hadn't found anybody that we were just like, yeah, we like that process. That's what we want to do. We do meetings with our employees. We have the CSAT program already, but none of it really talks to each other. So, we have email notes. We have notes in Word. Everything's everywhere. We always forget what we've talked about. Nobody's keeping on track with it. I'm like, there has to be something that puts all this together where we can track it. The employees can add their own notes and access it. We're not having to do all this back and forth. And then you got on stage and we're like, well, we might find something here. And then you started talking about it. And Chris last week was like, I think you bruised my arm when Vikram started talking, because I was just like, yes, this is it. So yeah, we were super excited about it. And, like I said, we already had a CSAT platform, but that's literally all it did. It was CSAT, NPS. There was, they could give points to each other and all that, but it didn't really relate to anything else. It was just like, you did good on this ticket. And it didn't go anywhere unless we took it somewhere. So that was just more, hands-on stuff we had to do, figure out the process. Right. And that's why we love the Team GPS, is because during the meetings, you have the agenda in front of you that both people can see. It's not just something on the supervisor side. The employee can put their notes. They can keep track of it. They can add things if they want to. And I really like that. That makes them more involved, gives them a sense of, connection to it. Right. It's not just, like she said, it's not just meeting where we're going to tell you what you're doing wrong and what we want. This is, what do you need? What do you want from it? Mm-hmm. And then we can show them the dashboard. Like, you've had this, you're doing great. You've got, people are loving you. And, here's how we're doing overall when we do the NPS. Because on our previous platform, the NPS was only accessible by us. Right. So we had to either print it or share it. And they were just kind of like, what is this? We don't, we got points for our tickets. That's all we care about. And so now when they can see that and they see how they contribute overall, it actually makes them look at it a little different. They kind of feel like they have more of a stake in it. So the company's doing good when they do better. I'm a huge Team GPS cheerleader. I tell people about it all the time, even other conferences. As soon as I hear somebody talking about like leadership or meetings, I'm like, oh, I know what you need. I'm like, you need to talk to Vikram or Ryan at ITBD because you need Team GPS.
Awesome.
I know. I had somebody ask me one time, they're like, are you do you get kickback from them? And I'm like, no, but I said, it really will change. I said, we have a smaller team and we had people that were so disconnected and they were just coming in and just doing their job and going home. And I said, even those people, because we were like, we just wrote it off to, hey, some personalities are just that way. And it's even changed for those people. Oh. They've asked questions. They've actually utilized even the life goals and done the personal stuff when before, we were just assuming is like, well, they're just going to be a worker bee and that's who they are. And just having that opportunity and having that platform made them interested in it and they wanted to utilize it. So, you just never know who that's going to touch and who that's going to help. And that's been amazing. My biggest thing is, if you want your team to be cohesive on your goals and on their accountability, that this is the best platform for that. This gives you a way, like I said, when you enter goals, and we just did very basic ones at first just to see, like with sales and marketing. And I said, this shows as you go through and you complete your task and you do that, it moves your bar along. But then when you click on company and you see that, hey, I contributed to that. I said, that really gives you a sense of that. And it empowers people to ask questions. And it's like, hey, I feel like I'm checking this off. I don't really know what my progress is. I don't know what I'm contributing. And this tells them right away. It's like, hey, I checked off this quarter's task and I moved that whole bar, by myself. Right. And I think that's really made a big difference for our team and makes them feel more like a team. Instead of I'm just, because like we have one salesperson and we have one account manager. And so sometimes, and then, I do the marketing. So sometimes sometimes we can all feel a little siloed, even though we know we are working together.
Right.
It's, it's just emails and team chats. But when you see it like that and you see how everything is working together to move the company bar, when the department and the individual move, it's like, okay, then we're doing what we're supposed to. We're on the right track, and we all kind of feel a little better about it because it's visual.
Right.
And it shows you, and it's really good. And it's, it's easy to use, just edit things. You can make notes and comments. And so it's super user friendly. And that's one thing we like too. So it's been great. We've loved it. We have, of course, a technology stack being an MSP, and, there's always going to be something you don't like or you have issues. And we were so used to like, oh, we'll pass this along to, support, and then we'd hear back in 2 weeks. And I'd like shoot you and Ryan an email. It's like, this thing is a little weird, or how about this idea? And I would get a response like within a day. And I'm like, okay, I like that. And you guys are just so open to listening, and you're listening to the people using it. And it's not, you weren't just stuck on like, well, this is what worked for us because it was our thing, and it was, this is what we used internally. So you need to adapt to our way. You listen to that. And even, there were times that I suggested stuff that we had used before, and Ryan's like, well, we've never done that, but that's actually a good idea. I bet other people do it. And you guys are just so open to that, and just so open to working together and collaborating for what works for everybody. And that is very refreshing in this space. Team GPS is fantastic. If you don't have it, get it.